guys. So welcome to the next video. So in this video, we'll be looking into the launching of our MVP and within next 72 hours. So exciting, right? So let's see what are the different steps involved and how we can possibly launch the MVP in the 72 hours time frame. So now if you look at the MVP, right? So and what I mean when you understand MVP is the minimum viable product. So now it's not about the functionality, right? It also consists of a lot of factors, like let's say the empathetic design, how well you have understood the user. Are you thinking in the user lines? Are you really imitating the user behavior and being empathetic to him? So this is one of the important question that you need to question yourself or be in the shoes of before thinking about launching an MVP. And then, is this MVP reliable? So like let's say if I give some information, are they gonna spam me with a lot of mails or with a lot of information, or is this something which they really genuinely care about and my data is safe with them? So how you define your privacy policy and how you actually attract the customer safe in the safest possible way, and usability. So like let's say why even should I use your product in the first place if it is not usable for me or if it is of ease of use? So that is also a very important factor you need to consider in launching your MVP. And then again, the core part is the function. So understand MVP is not only about taking your functionality and keeping it in front of the customer. It is a combination of several things, and that is the design, the safety, the usability, and the functionality. So now the first step in the launch of an MVP, like let's say we can categorize the 72-hour gap into 3 days. Like let's say the first 24 hours, the next 48 hours, the next 24 and the last 24. So in the first 24 hours, what is important is to do the extra touch of market research. I know that you have already done the mom test. If it is not done, please go back there and use that framework to understand if the customer is wanting your product or not. Along with this, along with the understanding of the market that you have gotten, you also should look at the competitors in the same field. So like let's say if there are any competitors, so what kind of product they are building and how the users are using the product and what is the feedback they have for the product. And in fact, understanding your market really gives or makes yourself to be in a situation where you clearly understand the requirements or the problems of the user. And now build a buyer persona or establish like what kind of product will the user really invest in or put in money out of his pocket. So these are the very three important factors that you need to list down in your market research. So now after completing your market research, the next step is you need to identify your unique selling point. So what is the purpose that with which you are building this MVP or the product, and what is the value that you are going to give with the product? And also think in the directions and question yourself in the most possible ways that why any user or customer should buy your product or should take your product, and what are the benefits or the advantages that your product gonna give from other than the other competitors that are available in the market. So to understand this USP, you can do one action item. So first you need to understand who are the users. Like in some cases there might be multiple users, right? Like let's say if you are a marketplace, you would be having both buyers and sellers, so you need to have like different journeys for the type of users. But like let's say if you have only one single type of user, so simply make the table like user, the action, and the end goal. So like let's take an example of Pizza Hut itself. So a Pizza Hut application. So the end purpose of a Pizza Hut application is to make sure that the user orders a pizza in the application and he gets it delivered in promised time. So what are the steps that a user gonna make in? Maybe you're gonna log in into the account, you're gonna search for his pizza, you're gonna add on the required side-ons and the beverages that you wanted, and then he can make the payment, and then he just waits till the order is get and the tracking information is there. So these are some of the important things that the user looks at. So now, like let's say now, if I'm coming up with a better product for for delivering a pizza or delivering food indeed. So from this list of actions, what are the pain points that that you can address for the user? Like, let's say user is taking like 3 to 4 steps to order a simple pizza. How can you decrease this 3 to 4 steps into, like, 1 or 2 simple steps? So what are the different things that you're going to do? So that defines your unique selling point. Not only in this way, if you are a B2B, or if you're a B2C, and if you're really a unique way of a product, what you need to simply do is you need to understand your user journey. So who is your user, and what is his end purpose, and to reach his end purpose, what are the different steps he's going through using a particular product, or he can be going through in a possible product. And then you clearly define what are the pain points that he's facing, and how better a solution that you can give is your unique selling point. So this is very important. This is where your product will be standing out from the others. So now, after defining or identifying the pain points, and after identifying the USP, now implement the user journey for the solution of your product. Now, what again, see the fundamental operations. What are the things that the user needs to do in order to fulfill his purpose? And as we also discussed, it should be like simple, convenient, ease of use, and then he should be in a position to realize its value, that okay, if I use this product or if I use this service, a lot of things are streamlined and a lot of steps are taken away. So this is really making the customer happy. So to identify your USP and to define your user journeys, so use this framework, like where you can put or list down the action of the user, the action, and the end purpose. And in that action, take out the pain points and what solution that you can give, and then define your user journey in terms of the solution. And always remember, keep the fundamental operations very basic in the MVP, and focus on ease of use and convenience to the user, so that in the same way, the user should also able to realize the value of yours. Now, great. Now, like, let's say I kind of like identified my USP. I kind of like defined my user journey. That's great. But along with this, I need also the a lot of additional things as features, or additional things as a beautifications, and how I gonna decide on the features of what to build and what not to build. This is very important, guys, because a lot of time, a lot of startups, early stage startups and founders really stuck at this area, keeping and feeling that this feature is needed, this feature is needed. But the main essence is, when once the core problem is addressed and a solution is fixated, it is all boiled down to just prioritizing the features that you want to need it in that particular product. So now, to help you build that kind of a mindset, one of the important framework that you can use is Moscow Matrix. So Moscow Matrix is simple. So it kind of like abbreviates into M as must have, S as should have, C as could have, W as will not have. So Moscow Matrix is simple. Like, let's say if it is like, again, taken Pizza Art features. Like, let's say, what are the important features or must have features that I should have? So definitely I should take the customer name, phone number, and address. So those are some of the must have things that I should take from the customer. So I should have the features, or I should have the fields that extract this information. Should have maybe recommending maybe like payment systems, sometimes an option to choose COD, or cash on delivery, or a payment system integrated. So that is also one of the should have things. Now, could have, you can have recommendations, or you can have like the top of the deals items, or discounts, or something like that. And apart from that, you can have like will not haves, right? I mean, like, let's say Pizza Hut kind of offers a new kind of a product, like, let's say they are moving into a burger section or something like that, or pasta section or something like that, and you want to display that item there like as a new section, and the user can go to that. It's not needed, right? So when you figure out the must have, should haves, and could have, and then you act to actually realize what is the impact and what is the effort I need to build that particular feature. So like, let's say if collecting information is a must have feature and the effort is very simple, I think so you should go for that particular feature. And should have, like, let's say the payment integration is again a good impacted. And there are some risks situated with it, and the effort is also required. So that is when, because the impact is high, you should definitely go to that and build that feature. So Moscow Matrix is a very important framework where you can use to build your MVP. Now, in the last 24 hours, it again boils down to putting all the collected information, insights, and all the things into action. So, I mean, you can ask, like, in 24 hours, are you kidding me? So, a lot of no-code tools are available in market, so you can very well use them. They are like simple plug and play, and they kind of like have templates as well as and payment integrations and maps integration. A lot of API integrations are also available in nowadays no code tools. So it's a simple plug and drop and play with the design till you feel that this is something which I am confident that if I launch this into the market, definitely the user will come and you interact with my product. He will definitely realize that value, and if he's not able to feel that value, or if he is not reaching to that value, maybe he could give you a good amount of user feedback. So this kind of an iteration and validation is the last step in the launching and testing. So these are the 5 steps involved in launching an MVP. So it's simply basic down is do your market research. In the market research, understand your competitors as well. Okay, and then the next step falls into identifying your USP along with defining the user journey. So again, see the actions of the users, see the feedback that the other products in the same market are getting. Understand the gaps, like understand how better your product is providing a value from them, and identify like what is the journey that you should follow so that the user will be able to see the value, or what is the things that you should build so that the user will realize that value. And then prioritize like what you need to build, what I should build. You need to prioritize using any of the framework, like I mentioned Moscow, like where you can list down the must have, should have, could have, and will not haves, and according to the impact and the effort required, you can again prioritize the same category of must have features. And finally, build it with a no code tool, or in fact a lot of sample videos or demo videos, or a simple times a presentation can also work. So maybe you can launch with that and test it for your validation and user feedback. Thank you.